colors. We have beets, we have butternut squash, we have cauliflower. So you want this to be really beautiful on the plate. Make it look really appetizing and delicious. So this is what we're going to be working on today, and I'm going to show you the steps. So the first thing that you need is a Ziploc plastic bag. I prefer the freezer type because it's sturdier and it holds together a little bit better. But this is a really great way to get olive oil all over your various vegetables, because we're going to do oven roasted vegetables. Okay, so I've gone ahead and chopped a few things up here, and we're just going to go through some of the vegetables. So the first thing that I have that you can add are these green beans. And the green beans didn't look great, so I just got a few of them, but they do add a nice crunch and a good green color. Asparagus works well here. And when I'm shopping for vegetables, I am looking for things that have the same type of consistency. If you'll notice, all my vegetables are harder. That means so that they're going to roast about the same time. Like you wouldn't want to add, say, mushrooms to this, because they're a much softer vegetable and they take quite a less time to cook. Here we have Brussels sprouts. These are great, and these are delicious roasted. I've been trying to like Brussels sprouts for a really long time, and I have found that roasted Brussels sprouts meet my requirement for delicious. So what happens is they get caramelized, and they're really delicious in roasted vegetables. So if you're like me, trying to love Brussels sprouts, this is a great way to use them. This is actually a squash called calabacita, or a Mexican squash. They did not have zucchini, which I was shocked at yesterday at the store. But they did have this. So I just kind of go and look around and see what's there, what's in season, what's happening. Now here, what I'm doing, if you'll notice, I'm cutting them all about the same size, because again, we're preheating our oven for about 425. And so if you can do that before you start this process, that's really good. So the oven's getting preheated. And then I just take these and put them in my Ziploc freezer bag. Now at this point, you can see that this bag is about half full. So I'm just going to add a little olive oil. Olive oil is a healthy oil. We'll be talking about that more. But anything that's room temperature, liquid at room temperature, is most of the time that is a healthy oil. So I'm going to take this, close it, and just shake. So you can see that the oil is getting nicely distributed to all of my different vegetables. Then I'm going to do a yellow squash. This was available too. And this is a really good, nice kind of squash to have. This is, again, a low carbohydrate choice, which is good. And again, I'm just trying to get pieces that are uniform in size so that they are all done at the same time. So we'll go ahead and cut this squash. And I love to do roasted vegetables for my snack. One of the things that we want to encourage you to do is not so much to change everything about how you eat, but just to add more vegetables. So one of the things that I've been doing is I make roasted vegetables at the beginning of the week. I call it Weekend Warrior. And I do a lot of food prep on the weekend because I'm busy during the week. And so I make a big pan of these, and I have some every afternoon for my afternoon snack. And what that achieves for me is I get my servings of vegetables in, but it also keeps my blood sugar really level, and I'm not really hungry. It keeps my productivity and my energy and my thinking clear. So this can be a really good way just to develop that, make that one small change in your life, and you'll find that you're eating a lot more vegetables. So this is cauliflower, and what you're kind of trying to do with cauliflower is just break it apart so that it's about Again, we're looking at serving size. We don't want a big, huge clump of cauliflower that doesn't get done with everything else. The next two things I want to show you are beets. A lot of people have preconceived ideas about beets, but we love them. This is a golden beet, which is beautiful, and then this is your traditional dark beet. But these both add so much color. Can you see how much color they add to our overall product? And so again, we're just going for chunks that are about a uniform size. And so if you add these beets, they, once they're roasted, very sweet. They're very delicious roasted. So if you're not a big beet fan, this is a good way to use it. The other thing I like to use is a red onion. Again, more of a sweet. And when it's roasted, you don't have to do a ton of little pieces. I just like to do it like this. And then I break them apart and just stick them in here. And then when it's roasted, they come out really nice. They're all just kind of broken apart. The other thing that I have is butternut squash. One thing I've almost lost limbs over trying to cut a butternut squash. So here's a tip. Go ahead and just pierce it a few times with the knife and microwave it. Microwave it for maybe 3 minutes, but make sure you pierce it. And so then as you can see, I peeled it so much easier. I was able to cut it so much easier. It's just a little bit softer. And so again, beautiful color. This, of course, as Ashley said, this is it has a hard shell when we knock on it. So this does have carbohydrate in it. But again, it's just a little bit. It adds some satiety and some pretty color. The next thing is sweet potato. And sweet potatoes, again, as you recall, do have carbohydrate in them, but they are good because they have a lot of nutrition and a little bit more fiber than a white potato. So they're always a good choice. And again, we're just cutting to go for size on this. And this happens to be a sweet potato. You could also choose a yam. A yam would be a great choice as well. Last but not least, I'm always looking for the color red. So these bell peppers, a bell pepper is a great option for red. I always do the bell pepper in my roasted vegetables. So as you can see, we'll just cut it into chunks. Again, we're going for size. So now, wow, my bag is pretty full, right? So I'm going to just add a little bit more oil to this. The reason I like this method is you can really limit the amount of oil and get everything all dressed. You want to, oils does have more calories and so forth, so you want to limit it, use it sparingly. So you see what I like about this is it mixes up all my veggies and I just hold it. And then you want to take a jelly roll pan. And what works really well, I've lined this one with foil. So when I'm done, all I have to do is just take up the foil, and it's not a nightmare to clean. So I'm going to throw all of this on my jelly roll pan. And I like this type of spatula. What you want to do, again, 425. I usually start it for about 15 minutes. Then I go back, and I just go ahead and I just move it all around. You'll see some things are starting to get brown. So you just want to move it all around. And then I usually put it in 10 to 15 minutes. It depends on how done you like your vegetables. That's the important thing. So you can taste it and see if that's something that you want to use. Ashley loves to use this dip. She'll take this as an hors d'oeuvre. And she uses non-fat Greek yogurt with sriracha sauce. It looks like this. She just puts that in, mixes it up, and often takes this as an appetizer. So roasted vegetables can make a great appetizer. So this is really fun. And again, as you can see, you can make a lot of them. and have them for the week. They last in the refrigerator very well. So thank you so much.